Hello. I'm starting the stream slightly early so I can actually get everything working on time for once. Maybe, if we're all lucky. But we'll see. Tonight, well, I'll introduce what the evening is properly in a moment because we are actually earlier than we should be. But I basically have a few games to check out on my little list from people who are in the Discord for the Indie Game Clinic, which is nice. Here's Saif. So, Saif, you made Inside. I'm not sure if I'm going to get round to playing it in this session, just because if it hasn't been updated, then it will basically be me playing the same version I played before. But if you've got a new version, I'll play it. Otherwise, I'm going to be working through everything else that's on my little spreadsheet. Let me get my little spreadsheet up, because I've hidden some stuff so that people can't see everyone's email addresses, because I'm nice like that. You know, doing the basic level of protecting people and their identities and so on. So we're going to be looking at something called Gunsmith's Defense by Viking Crew, Milo Hartnell's Electric Sheep, and I'm quite excited to look at that one. It looks very strange, and you know I love a bit of strange. We've got a game called Tanko, which I believe is about a tank. A tank, you know, a shooting tank, not a tank of fish. And Smitner's Hazard Pay. So, hello Yellow Star. Yeah, these are the obscurest, rarest games. So basically, what I normally do on the channel is at least once a week I review a game that someone has sent to me that they're still working on, because that's, you know, it's a game design channel, and that helps people to get feedback before they launch their game. And then what I'm doing today is the first of a monthly thing where folks who are in the Discord for the Indie Game Clinic kind of get priority on me sort of showing and critiquing their games. So that's the kind of the vibe today. I'm just trying to get it so I've got the restream chat up on the screen, and then if we get anyone come in via Twitch as well, then I will see them. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Someone from Twitch. Just trying to find a way to view that chat without everything else. And I will turn on the chat on the stream itself as well. I'm on a bit of a go slow tonight. There we go. So welcome back to Indie Spreadsheet Clinic, a YouTube channel dedicated to spreadsheets and putting them on YouTube and looking at them for hours on end. We'll get started properly in a minute. There we go. Got the restream chat up properly on my end so that I'll be able to see it when I'm actually playing the games as well. And I think we will start with the games that I've had to download, just because we have to start somewhere. Hey, Tryhard Studio. Safe. The one I played, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was the one that you've got on the itch. Like, that build is from September, and I haven't been doing this that long, so. So Gunsmith Defense is by one of our Discord community members. I'm just going to install it. I thought I'd installed it by unzipping it, but apparently not. So yeah, when we do these streams of just the games of the people who are in the Discord, sort of expecting them to be recent builds of games from, you know, the last month or so. That's kind of the whole point. So that people can show their progress without maybe having to do their own devlogs or start their own YouTube, which, because I know a lot of people don't have time to do that or don't want to do it. Right, I'm just installing this Gunsmith's Defense. And then we'll get started properly. There it is. Should have checked they all work beforehand, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day. And I'm still not totally free from having to have a day job. Getting there, but it's not working. Hello, Smitner. Right, I'm going to come back to Gunsmith's Defense because it doesn't seem to be loading properly for me. Angelos, what has been my favourite game submission so far? Oh, I don't know. I'm sort of not sure if I look at games like that when I'm sort of looking for problems. There's definitely been some that still stick out. I really liked Inventory Quest, which was one of the early ones, in terms of just it being the sort of thing I like. And I really liked the Tic-Tac-Tic, the sort of deck builder with tic-tac-toe. But there's been a lot, you know. I think generally speaking, if something is not interesting in some way, I tend not to show it nowadays because there's just too many games. I'm actually having to come up with a new way of filtering them, which I'm going to be doing in the next week or so, of just working out how to you know, create a form for people to go through to have to submit stuff. Yeah, preferring day jobs to night shifts is totally reasonable. I'll whack the cans on because I do not have any smaller headphones. Just gonna put the mic up a little bit and the music down a little bit. So this is Tanko, which is a game submitted by Power of Sin, who is one of our Discord members, and I think it's a game from a little while ago. It's not one that's still being worked on, but I'm still interested to see what it is because I think they said it's the first game they finished. I'm not sure. Press Z. Just a guy. Just one of them. Just one of those things. Okay, so I can go left and right, but I can only jump in that direction. And I can move while I'm in the air, but I can't walk along the floor. That's already quite an interesting restriction. So like when I'm jumping, I can sort of float left and right. And I can't jump when I'm on the floor. I can just turn like that and go. Just like that. It feels quite nice, and it's a really interesting restriction. So I've got a normal jump with Z, and then it's or with space as well, and it says I can do a hold, slightly higher jump. Doesn't feel that much higher. Ah, okay, that's to drop down there. Yeah, okay, I didn't need that instruction until I was on that platform that I could drop through, but I understand what it is now. Hold tab for map. So far, so Metroidvania. We got a map. I feel like having that a different colour would make it more distinct when it pops up. This is great though. This is so full of character. We're in a save room. That is like a checkpoint. Yeah, I think the visual communication in this, I don't know what to shorten your name to, Power, so I'm just going to call you Power. Because calling you POS feels a bit offensive. Yeah, there's lots of really, really good sort of visual communication in this game. I know that's not the way I was supposed to go, but I just wanted to see if I could. Like, the save room was just immediately kind of obvious what it did, and... doing these little controlled jumps to avoid getting shocked. When you've got a really commonly used sound effect like that jump, really, yay, tracks! Now we can walk because we are turning into a little tank guy. Amazing! Yeah, when you've got a really commonly used sound effect like that jumping bounce, it's worth just throwing a tiny, tiny pitch shift on it each time. Just randomizing it between, like, you know, 95 and 105% of its normal pitch so that it just sounds like a slightly different sound each time. Stops your ears getting... consider saving, thank you. That's very considerate. It just stops your ears getting tired when you have things like gunshots, things like walking sounds, jumping sounds, anything that occurs over and over again. But yeah, the sound implementation is lovely as well. It's got a lot of... it's all got so much character. Yeah, okay. I also like that you've got a sort of... you've got a sort of very light bit of environmental storytelling that sort of explains why the environment's dangerous, because everything looks a little bit broken, you know? It's giving the sort of, you know, like the complex in Portal kind of situation where you are in a place that is disused and hasn't been used for what it was intended for a long time, and you've got these cracks in the walls and stuff. So we've got, yeah, nice use of colour for navigation as well, right? So we're into the orange area now, or an orange area. That's cool. Really, really great. I think this is a really great sort of case study in efficiency. A lot of the things you've done in this game. Like, just using a colour shift for a new area is kind of cheap, but it does make you feel like you've done something and you've progressed. I do wonder if I'm going into this bit too soon and if I've missed a power-up I was supposed to get before I come in here, though, because it looks pretty dangerous. I died. Yeah, the health bar is the hearts down the right. Oh, they are. Hang on, let me... There we go. We can have the chat on my face. As long as you're respectful there. Just make myself... Yeah. Yeah, don't think the game has bad UX just because my massive head is in front of the chat. In front of the health bar. So you can see I died on purpose in that bit because I wanted to go back and show this level to anyone who just joined. I did that on purpose. Oh dear. Right, so I really need to find where the save area is as soon as I get into that orange area, because I think I fluked it through this the first time. A little bit more than I may have thought. Consider saving. I don't know why, but the wording of that tip where it says consider saving just makes me laugh quite a lot. It's so polite. It's sort of polite in a sort of passive-aggressive, like, oh, it would be really stupid if you didn't save here, you know? Again, it's giving GLaDOS vibes again. Yeah, so what we'll do tonight is probably play each game on the list about 20 minutes or so and just see what we think of it. I really like this though. I might do a whole video on it. See, these blocks have a crack on, and that tells me that I'm going to go somewhere, get a gun, and then come back here and blast through those cracks. This ain't my first Metroidvania rodeo. So I think maybe I did have to go up there. There's another way out to the right of this room, but I can't get through there without cracking that brick, so I need to go up here first. Ah, yeah, there it is. Because, you know, hot color in a hot room. So before it was in a blue room, I was like, look at the save point, and now I'm just like, I cannot see. Yeah. Save point, who is she? I've got a slight delay on the chat, so it's very funny when people are going, save! Immediately after I've just saved. in my reality. I see an arrow, some kind of new thing. Ah. I pressed a button. We've learned how to press a button. Yay! These puzzles are great. This is so cool. It's really refreshing to play a decent puzzle platformer. Like, it's a genre that people complain about a lot, and it's like, they can be good, but they're just often the first thing people try and make when they get a game engine, because there's a template or a tutorial of how to make a platformer, and they haven't really thought through the puzzles a lot of the time, or they just kind of get the key and take the key to the door. The puzzles in this are fantastic. I think I'm supposed to go the long way round and not the same way as the sparklies. Right, let's give it another shot round the other way. I don't believe in overdone. I think there are genres of game that get a bad name because lots of people make bad versions of them. But I think there's always more room for good versions of any game genre. I don't really subscribe to the whole trend chasing is X in fashion type approach to games. It doesn't ring true for me. It's a marketer's way of thinking about games, and marketers are always about trends and like what's in right now, and it's like the only reason stuff that's in right now is because people took a chance on doing something that other people weren't doing and it became a thing, right? Yeah, we got shooting. I got a nose! I got a nose and I can shoot out of it. That's all I've ever wanted in this world. This is so good. I think I mentioned in the Discord soon, but it sort of reminds me of one of the games on UFO 50. I mean, this could be a UFO 50 game. It's like strong enough in terms of the look and the and the kind of uniqueness of the gameplay. Ah, and you've got like secret walls that disappear when you go behind them. Yeah, you become a tank. I mean, the game is called Tanko, so it's all about being a little tank. But I really like this approach to kind of Metroidvania, where as the character unlocks their extra abilities, they look different in stages, you know. The little blink when you do a shot as well is so nice. So sweet. And now I can shoot this one and get through here. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. That's very satisfying when you get it. Can I shoot the jelly off these? Apparently not. Oh, okay, there's buttons up there I need to... And red is active, so this green one is the one that I haven't hit. There we go. Yeah, I think that's true, Fred. It would be good if your character went behind the buttons rather than in front of them. One of the things these puzzles are doing really, really well as well is, I mean, if you've been kind of watching, I'm not getting stuck for very long on knowing what to do. It's like there's a little gap, I work out what I need to do, and then I execute it. And there haven't been many rooms where I'm just wandering around for ages trying to work out what to do. So now, go around here. Why have I come over here? That was pointless. Oh, if anyone is able to post a reminder in the Discord that we are streaming, because they... I don't think I posted one today. I forget that not everyone religiously checks YouTube every single day. Right, what is going on here? There's a button up there, that's what it is. And that helps me get up there, okay. I didn't look at what that button did close enough. A gated shaft. Okay, so we've got a square button and a square door. Drawing that opens that. I need to find one with a triangle on, one with a equals, and one with a cross on. So this is starting to look like, you know, I can potentially break the puzzle kind of territory around here. Right, I'm going to have to move on to the next game in a moment, but this is great, and I think people should play it. And I think I'd really be interested in playing a couple of Metroidvanias in a row and just sort of trying to work out what the strengths and weaknesses of different attempts at it are, because this one feels really, really solid. It's got such a clear sense of what the upgrades are going to be, you know? Because you're a little robot tank that gets built, and not just a dude with hands that could, you know, evolve into, well, not anything particularly interesting. Yeah, I was just thinking, because that room had a lot of blocks that looked like they could be platforms, and I don't know if I could, you know, accidentally break those. I didn't test it to see if I could, because I didn't want to get stuck, but it just looked like the kind of puzzle room that might be breakable. Definitely not a complaint, because I didn't manage to do it. Right, we're going to check out Gunsmith's defense now, which is from one of our Discord members, who is called Viking Crew. And see if I can get it to work. And let me just put this on. Sure, you can have some analytics. This is too wide. Don't do that. Right. I don't think I can play this in windowed, so I'm going to have to just keep checking back to see what the chat is saying. So this is a... Oh, that's good. Regarding the not being able to get stuck, that's always a nice thing. So this is a defense shooter game called Gunsmith's Defense. As far as I'm aware, the Viking team who is working on this, it's a relatively early build of something. I can't minimize it, but we've got a sort of up and down and a click to fire. We've got that pitch shift that I talked about, but sometimes it's quite a big jump on this, so it sounds a bit goofy. They're eating me. How loud is that? Is that really loud? Let's turn it down a bit. Yeah, they ate me very, very quick. A lot easier when you realize you can hold the mouse button instead of clicking each time. A little bit difficult for a first wave of a game. But I can already upgrade stuff, so the dying has not stopped me from being able to spend my currency. So that's good. I can unlock a wall of crates. Okay, you've got quite a lot of stuff to play around with here in terms of toys. They haven't Let's just unlock them to build, though. I don't think I've actually got them as an option. Ah. I think maybe I wasn't collecting the coins before, because that time when I hovered over them, it picked them up properly. So, I don't know what the fixes are to some of these issues, but if you're watching it, Dev, then just see what things I get stuck with or don't understand. I think it would be nice for the player character to look like a different person from the zombies. Like, I don't mind that the zombies are kind of this goofy character, but I think the player character should look different from them. Okay, now we've got preparation menu. I'm going to build a crate wall. And what else can I get? I got a heavy pistol, but I can't afford it. So I guess I just build lots of crate walls. And that's all I can do for now, so. At least now I can trap them behind that. They spawned a crate for some reason. I'm glad this guy's slow. Okay. That was a bit better. You have to buy stuff and upgrade, or you just can't survive the first round. And I don't know if that's bit by design, but I think people might find it a little bit frustrating. Obviously gonna get an SMG if we're doing zombies. Just want the most spray and pray weapon I can possibly have. Right, I need to save up $400 to be able to get either of the better guns. We're nearly there, we're at 300. He's a big boy. Ah, I should have been going round the shield. I can get a revolver as well. I'm gonna get whatever I can get. We need some build sounds, because it's just like a classic hammering and sawing sound when you build something. My initial response to this is that I've got the sound up too loud, and that I think the first couple of waves should be easier, basically. just to get people into it. This is great though. Once you get to this point where you've got different types coming at you and you have to make snap decisions about your approach, it's good. It works quite well. I'd be tempted with this one because the art style is kind of deliberately goofy, right? And you've got all these sort of pseudo-realistic guns, you know, they look like real types of guns you can get. But then it's kind of goofy art style, but the theme isn't actually that goofy of like a guy who builds guns fighting zombies. And I wonder if this would reach more people if the character was like something funny, like a grandpa, you know. This was like Gran Torino, like Clint Eastwood being a badass grandpa that goes around and kills everyone kind of thing, that kind of deal. Or just something else that is kind of funny and less serious, because the art style is funny and goofy and the character isn't. What's this? Reload mod for the SMG? Yeah, and you've got all of this, if you kind of using rarity colors to indicate how powerful things are, which I think is fine. People know what they mean. I'm just clicking random stuff at the moment though, because just to see what I can get and click the random stuff. So can I drop that onto... Oh. Did I just get rid of my SMG by dropping that on it? So I think one of the things that people are going to get confused by here is how do these things work when they're in your inventory? Because I dropped that upgrade onto my SMG thinking it would upgrade the SMG, but I think you just have to hold the upgrade. So I think that's a thing worth thinking about with this one. Yeah, let's give this one 5 more minutes. I think this is doing what it needs to do in a lot of ways, right? If you think of tower defense games or just general defense games, it's got that kind of like, I do want to play one more round kind of quality to it. But I think the first level is a little bit too difficult. And I think the gun modifications, it's unclear how they work in terms of like putting them in your inventory. Let's try that again. I've lost all my stuff. Okay, so that's what happens. Have I gone back to level? This is the first level again, isn't it? But I've got some money. I think players are just going to need a bit more communication about what's happening as well. Like, because I lost my inventory. I seem to still have money. I can't really understand what's happening in terms of the state of the game. So, as someone just pointed out in the chat, headshots do more damage. But I think one of the issues that might cause is that if the headshots do more damage, then it's always going to make sense to shoot from the top, which isn't really the top. It's like the character's left, right? Let's get a rifle. Why not get a rifle? This is my boomstick. Yeah. So if I go up here and shoot from here, do I just naturally get more sort of DPS because I'm hitting them from the top? In which case we might have what is known in the biz as a degenerate strategy, which means when your game has a way of playing it that is obviously the best way, and it sort of ends up spoiling the game for players because they can't help but do the you know, better thing in the game, rather than experimenting and trying different stuff out. So I think headshots might be a problem given the angle that we see the game from, because it just encourages you to stay up at the top of the screen like this. Getting 2 guys with 1 bullet's really satisfying. A zombie and their baby. If a way you could get quite a lot of extra character out of these characters as well is to sort of tilt them side by side as they walk. Lots of helpful kind of feedback coming through on the chat. Actually, I haven't been able to keep up with that because I can't window this game, but it looks like there's some helpful stuff. So I will take a look in a second. It's quite clear, I would think. I don't like that this sort of goes all the way down to the bottom of the screen, and my gut feeling on the speed of this is that I'm unlocking it all too quickly, and I feel like the grind. Basically, I think the speeding up of the difficulty of the actual game in terms of what I get attacked by, I feel like that's too fast, and the grind of unlocking the stuff in the tree, in the tech tree, is too fast as well. When you've got very sort of kill lots of things type action games, I feel like you really need to ease people into it and let them get into a kind of comfortable rhythm of just enjoying being a pest control person before you try and kill them. And it's not the same for every game, but I think this kind of very grind driven, lots and lots of enemies, horde type game is worth considering, because doing okay now, I've got extra weapons, but the first 2 levels just felt way too hard. I'm guessing that the cone sort of randomizes the shot, so if you fire before something is aimed, it sort of goes to a random point in that. Very fancy. What are these? Ah, extra inventory slot. You've thought of everything. Thought of everything. I've got a telescope to go on my rifle that's got no bullets. Okay, so the rifle is the only thing I need rounds for, which is a little bit confusing and unintuitive. Like, I imagine there is some thought behind why that is the case, but I'm not sure what it is. Hard to get people to remember that things have ammo if only one thing has ammo. No! No! Right, we'll let those dudes be for a bit, because I'm going to have nightmares about them if I have to shoot any more of those. That's interesting. So the cone isn't always randomizing the shot. Yeah, maybe that seems more like a bug than a design thing, but I think that's an interesting little game. I could see that being quite a popular browser-based game. But yeah, my main things would be make the player character look like a different thing to the zombies. Maybe even make it a slightly goofier character concept, like a angry grandpa or something, just because it's a goofy looking game. You may as well capitalize on that. The upgrade tech upgrade stuff felt a bit too fast, like I unlocked stuff way too quickly, and the difficulty at the start of the game just needs to be tweaked down a little bit, I think. Right, those are the 2 games that I downloaded for today, and then I've also got, what else have I got? We've got Electric Sheep by Milo, who joined the Discord last week, and I think this is going to be a strange and artsy game, I think. Let me just see where we are at. It's going to be running on... working out how to find the... There we go. So, Soji itch. And underneath it says, it's kind of fun to goof around in this world before anything is tightened up. It being a broken mess is a slight charm, I find. WASD and directional buttons to move, spacebar and mouse to interact with certain objects. Don't expect any actual gameplay, just vibes in it. Exit through the door on the right, delicately. Interesting. So this is vibes, not gameplay. Sorry, got on. Browser's jumping all over the place. Here we go. The art of this is really cool. I've seen GIFs of this before where Milo has shared them with us in the Discord and in some other group I'm in with them as well. So do we have audio in this? So I'm walking around in my little... I look like a sort of... a little bit like a sheep that's standing up on its back legs. And I can go on the computer. And there's a squiddly diddly. Hello. What are you? It's very cool. Like, yeah, it's not like got much gameplay in it, right? But there's something like, we don't have collisions for the walls and stuff, but there is something very compelling about just the base art style of this. And I like the fact that it's so messy because it makes you wonder what things are. It's a really good walk cycle on this character as well. Kitchen, Reenup, Lead Pipe, Poor Dining Plum Concern. This person is worshipping the words. I'll put the music up a bit because it's a vibe. You're not worthy. Yes, you are. Praise be. Like I said, the characters have a little talk bubble that comes up when you're close to them. Quite a nice way of implementing that sort of JRPG style walk around a town and talk to people thing, that they just talk automatically when you get close. This is a thing, a tower of what's name? Boo. Boo. It says press space to talk, but I didn't need to. Just to... Aha, you dumbass. Because I pressed space. Hello, Red Kraken. Can I click on you? Wonderful, you're blue now. Hello, Red Kraken, can I make you blue? I think you're supposed to be able to click on these guys, but they register the clicks too quickly. Because it sort of strobes when you click on it, but maybe that's the intention. Excuse me, this is a private conversation. There's not many friendly people here. This is like, even though this is a lot, like, obviously very surreal, right? This is still more socially realistic than most Final Fantasy games where you just go up to someone in the town and interrupt their conversation and they go, "Don't you love it here? Don't you love the weather? I hope no one steals all the materia from the Gumble dump," or whatever. I don't know. I haven't played a Final Fantasy game in years. But the fact that the characters just tell you to go away, right? That's my experience of what it's like to go and press spacebar at random people in the world. Hello, fresh fish for sale. Yeah, there isn't a up animation. Kind of funny though. Kind of makes it look, if you run in a circle like that, it makes it look like they're kind of getting stuck for a moment. Oi! Well, well, well. If it isn't some geezer. There's lots of lovely little animations in this. Amazing. I want to go on that. God, it's $50, alright. That's definitely a special item, but I should be able to pick that up, that green thing. I'm in the way of your TV, am I? Am I in the way of your TV? It's a cool world. You know, sort of not a game by lots of people's definition, but it's a very cool art object, and I don't really care that it doesn't have any gameplay because it's quite a fun little thing to run around in. Yeah, this is very, very acid. So many nice little animations with some of these. Yeah, the music does carry on for quite a while with that same riff going. It does, although it's maybe changing now. We've got some wormies. Hello, wormies. Yeah, they're basically Shafei. There's not really any collision in this at all. Like, I don't think there's really been any implemented. It kind of feels like it was an art project and a learning project, and there aren't many things like that guy's head, that pink guy, that has collision, but lots of things just don't. So, you know, there are things that it looks like I should be able to go behind, like that. It's a big pixel Pepe. Like things like this train and the tower earlier on and stuff, you just can't walk behind them because it's a big. It's like it's kind of like someone has done this cool pixel art on a massive zoomed out board on a you know, Procreate or something on an iPad, and then just let you run around on it. Hello. My mouse has disappeared from the game. We're not letting you use a mouse. Can't believe Bernie Sanders is here, and he's also a bug, a giant bug. It's very interesting that even though I know I can walk across the chasm, I still feel compelled to want to walk the proper way. What's in here? Can I go in here? It's Night City, from off of Cyberpunk. Chimp pop. Buggy Sanders. Does the Pepe talk? Hello, Pepe. Hello, Pepe. Now that you're here and you can speak for yourself, do you want to give us your final word on your misappropriation by the alt-right? I don't think he wants to talk about it. What's going on up here? Sort of headbanging in their room, maybe? Right, that's enough of Kanyo for today, but I really like that. very strange little project, you know. Obviously, I would love to see a game of this that is a bit more of a game, but this aesthetic is so cool. It's so cool. So, I don't know. If you're a programmer who doesn't have an artist, you should pester Milo to make a game with you, because this is such a cool, like, aesthetic vibe. It's just not a gameplay kind of game. It's more of a hang out with Buggy Saunders kind of game. And stand on his head. That's enough of that. Right, why are we here? Because we are, because it's a vibe. I am going to get Hazard Pay up now, which is Schmittner's game. And this is a playtest on Steam. I'm going to just boot it up. And always going to be funny to watch me play block puzzles, because my brain just cannot process them for some reason, and I'm very bad at them. Fuck, I need to change my light to be the right color for this game. Wait 1 second. Yeah, that's the one. Yucky yellow. Let me see if I can So this game is windowed, but I can't make it any smaller, which means I can't see the chat. How are we doing volume-wise? So this has come along a bit since I last saw it. When I last saw this, it was when the dev was in a little kind of video with me when we made some music for this. Be brutal. Yes. So I'm not gonna tell people what I already know about this game. I'm just gonna play it and let the chat see what it is first. But this is quite exciting for me because I saw this game a little while ago and a lot has changed about it, and I'm really interested to see what that is. So. There's been an accident in Sector 5. It's unclear what happened. All core systems are down. Load up the truck and get on site immediately. Remove all evidence, leave no trace behind. That little wait bar on the text pop-ups really makes it feel a bit panicky, which is not a bad thing. Call me when it's done. Okay, I've got to go and do some cleaning up. It's just a cleaning up game. Put the music volume up a little bit. Am I supposed to? Oh, this is the tutorial. It's putting the putting the mop on the truck. It's not very obvious that that's what you have to do, but it works fine because it's like, you know, an object that we understand how it works in the world, and it's also bright yellow. No! Lovely little turn animation on that truck when it turns around. That's pretty fun. I do love a sort of Mario World type map. Big fan. Destroy all evidence, leave no trace. Okay, Jorge Kaplan, with your 48. Oh, a lower score is better. Let's see why that is. I step out of my truck. Immediately, into the gore that I'm supposed to be cleaning up. And immediately break the puzzle. Oh. So we've got a reset button and we've got an undo button. That's helpful for this style of game. So if I deliberately walk through the gore, I can loop back round and get stuck again. That's the one. That's the one. I'm gonna get the chat up on my phone because I can't see the chat in this game because we're not able to window it. And I'm poor and I don't have a second screen. $52. Don't know how anyone would do that in 4 less moves than that, but it's very close. So I don't think these like lumpy chunks of gore were in this the first time I played it, and they definitely changed the vibe. Okay, maybe if I go around here I can push this out and sort of creating more mess by walking through the gore. It's very funny that that happens. What am I supposed to do with the body? Am I supposed to just put the body on the truck? Take it with me? Will that do? I don't know what the workplace rules are about taking bodies home with you. So I'm clicking reset quite a bit, but I'm very good at getting myself stuck in situations in this. I mean, that's how these games work, isn't it? Right, how do I clean that without getting stuck in that corner? This is breaking my brain already. We're already on the 2nd level. There we go. Whoa. Yeah, Cuckoo, that's a good shout. I do need to get a cheap monitor and just stick it to one side for the chat and stuff. Good shout. I need to get on Facebook Marketplace. It's just, I don't think anything in the world gives me more social anxiety than dealing with people on Facebook Marketplace, you know? I don't know if anyone has seen, have you seen the like memes on YouTube where people take a British person being aggressive and they turn it into like a Skyrim enemy and they put all the music on and stuff? That collection of people is who I expect to encounter when I try and barter with someone for a monitor on Facebook. Very cool. Yeah, I agree that the path on the... Oh, sorry, I accidentally shut that down. The path on the map is a little bit dark, isn't it? Let's just load that back up. So we're on area 3 now. Part of my problem as well is I've got like this electric organ here that I never play that is taking up like a third of the room. I really need to get rid of that as well. Destroy all evidence, leave no trace. Okay, so this time we have got a new game mechanic, I think, where we go ploppy in the acid. Pop the lid on. Pop it in the back there. Lovely. And now I've done a terrible job. Oh, I think I know. Is there a tricky way to do this? No. No, I'm gonna mess it up. Ah! Something like that, but this game is such a good interpretation of this genre. Like, I don't know, I played, there was a Sokoban block puzzle game in UFO 50 that just felt so, like everything you were doing felt so abstract, and it's just like, here are some puzzles for some reason. And making a game where it's doing everything games in the genre usually do, but it's got this layer of narrative to it that's not usually there. It's really cool, and I really like that approach. And even if you were making a game in a totally different genre, I really like the idea that you can take a sort of puzzle genre that doesn't usually have a narrative and build like a lot of world and mood into that thing. Pop that there, and then there we go. Screwed it again. You can jump in the acid. Now we're cooking, Jesse. Yeah. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I can just undo one move. So one of the, so it's like you sort of have to learn the behavior of each of the little pieces of the game, and it's like, okay, I know that you leave 2 footprints of blood after you step in the gore, and then it's like, okay, now what do I do with that information? Not quite there yet, really. So maybe if I, is that a better way of handling that? This is a genre that just breaks my brain every time I try and do one. It'd be cool if we could do something with like when you're reversing it, if it could kind of go black and white or something, or if I know it's very hard to make music go backwards, but if there could be like an audio filter and a visual filter when you're undoing, so it's kind of, you know, gives you sort of braid kind of vibes, that would be good. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. What did I do the first time? Oh yeah, push that across. Pop that over there, and then that's the one. That's the way to do it. And if I do that, will it... I thought it might interact with the lid if I did that. And then we want to push this here so that we can push them through in one go. Amazing. Yeah, just some kind of visual effect when you're rewinding, because just so it's obvious what's happening. And it's like I'm playing, so I know what's happening, you know. But when people are watching people play this, it's going to be helpful to not just see the character moonwalking. Wasn't someone literally just saying that they'd love to see more acid in games? And here we are, walking into some acid. I think one of the reasons why I find these so hard is that... Oh, I didn't want to put that lid on yet. Is that I generally see puzzles and I sort of want to understand how to solve them before you solve them. Whereas I think the way that these work is you have to just do them. And you can't sort of look at it and intellectually solve it. You have to just sort of do stuff. Just be trying stuff until something you try works. And that's not like most games. If you have like an action game that has puzzles in it, most of the time I sort of rely on being able to look at the whole thing and solve it in my head before I carry it out. And the sort of ramifications of moving a piece in one of these push block puzzles is just, there's just too many things to think of to be able to actually just map it all out in your head. So you're better off just doing stuff and trying like different routes and just until you get it. And I think that really kind of plays into why it would be good to try and make the rewinding feel really nice and look really cool. Oh, we've got clothes this time as well. We've got a body. Ah, okay. We've got that wagon or that bin, whatever that is. So we're putting stuff in there. We're putting that in there. We're scooching those along. Popping all that in there. Ah. Well, nothing to see here. I think that'll do fine. We can go home. Bye. Not being very efficient at this at all, but I mean it's interesting, isn't it? Because we have lots of discussions in indie dev about like how do you make your game longer, and that's covered in blood as well. I mean, yeah, to answer the developer's question, do you think it's fair to say this is more problem solving than puzzle solving? I don't know. I think this is an established genre of puzzle game, and this is a really strong version of it. So you don't need to get too philosophical about what is happening here, because people know of this genre and they call it a puzzle. Whether it is a puzzle or something else is sort of irrelevant, because it's already an established genre. But one of the things that this is making me think of is that, you know, we talk about all of these ways of adding replayability to a game, making it longer and stuff, and, you know, a lot of the received wisdom about why we make roguelikes is so you can, you know, make them really long and all of that kind of stuff. And having a game like this where there's a very, very high skill ceiling for, like, completing a level efficiently, it's another good example of a different way of approaching that problem. Because people are going to be able to come back to this and try and do it with less moves. Like, that's what you've got your high score or your low score table for, right? And it's just, yeah, it's just an interesting example of a genre where people can complete the levels, but completing the levels really well is going to take them a lot of time and a lot of experimentation. That's a really good way to make a game longer, I think. It's how it's handled in sort of free-to-play games a lot as well. Of like, you know, games where you get stars for progressing, and it's like you get 1 out of 3 stars, or you get 1 out of 5 stars, and then you come back and do that level again later. It's a way of stretching out content, and this isn't doing exactly that, but it's the same sort of thing of like such a mess. Same sort of thing of like degrees of success, you know? Right, just trying to work out how to... Because I don't want to push that block into this corner and then not be able to get it out, but I need to clean under it. And if I put footprints all around there, then I won't be able to clean them back up. Okay, I think that's maybe better. Take that with me. This is so insane. This is breaking my brain so much. The bin isn't bloody till the body goes over it. Interesting. Try pushing the bin into the body. Well, who said that? Was that Shafei? Thank you for the possibly very smart approach. Probably put that item of clothing in there first. Bring the bin down. Yeah, that's smart. Well done. I'm definitely using too many steps now, but... And then push the... That's really cool. I mean, I'll settle for just completing the levels at this stage. It'd be interesting to hear people's thoughts on how difficult this is as like the early part of a game, right? Because there's a school of thought that you should always ease people in, and then there's a school of thought that like it's the Dark Souls school of thought, right? That if your game is hard all the way through, then the introduction should be like an accurate representation of how hard the game is. So it's like part of me thinks there should be a couple of really dumb puzzles at the beginning of this, but it's like the kind of grit and the sort of art direction and the story, it's kind of a background story, right? But the mood of the world to me in this game sort of indicates the difficulty, right? It's kind of seems appropriate for just to off the bat be really hard. Um, I don't know if I'd mind this job, to be honest. I think if I had this job, I would simply pick the bodies up and put them in the place rather than trying to push them along with a mob. Really, what have we got here? We've got paperwork. Does the does the mop interact with the paperwork? Am I going to get soggy paperwork that's like hard to deal with? So far, no. That's good. But I can't push this up there. So if I do that, I can go that way. I don't want to push that paperwork into that dead corner though. Oh. I just found a potential problem that you've got. So R is retry and T is backspace, and I just thought I tried to muscle memory my undo, and I pressed retry because it was right there. So I would be tempted to move the retry and undo buttons away from each other somehow. I mean, I'd be tempted even just to make undo be Control Z, because people are so used to that from other games. I might be wrong, or not other games, but software in general, right? But yeah, the retry the whole level and the undo one move button I don't think should be right next to each other like that, because it's very easy to accidentally do one when you mean to do the other. Oh, body. What are you doing there? I love these sort of Bakelite looking computer things, whatever they are. It's very late 70s sci-fi, sort of alien vibes. That'll do. That's fine. Let's go home. Yeah, I'm gonna have to create some prints over here. There's no way of doing this bit without getting my feet dirty, as it were. Yeah. I'm gonna have to regroup on this one. Maybe doing something over here first. Get all the papers out of the way. And then I've got a bit of an easier job, maybe. There's something really satisfying about this. That is so satisfying. Like that moment where you create the chain reaction that pushes everything into place it's really funny. And again, there are so many of these games that are like totally abstract or just cute, and that doesn't create the humor that this does. Of like, I'm picking up a mop and pushing a body and some paperwork onto a truck. Very funny. So yeah, we were in the sort of hard side levels there, I guess. And here we have scary buttons on the floor. And some electric thing, and that goes in there, and then you can push stuff. Okay. And I've got no lid for that acid, so I'm gonna interesting. Oh, hang on. Right, I needed to wipe that up, but if I push everything into this room, I'm not going to be able to get that lid on top of that barrel, that vat. Very interesting. Is there something to do with... I can't... Yeah, level completion sounds needs something there as well. That's a good shout. So I can't just push everything down that way, because then it will get stuck. What happens if I shut something in the door and... can wedge stuff in the door like that? Does that do anything? I knew that was possible as well. I'd already seen that happen in this game, but it's just still really funny. So the gore is right in the doorway like that, the bit that I need to clean up. I'm guessing what I need to do is just do the... I need to kind of do the level in the other order, maybe. Maybe that's all it is. I go down here. And maybe don't worry about getting the floor messy for now. Bring this back up. Do the old switcheroo. There we go. Woo. Yeah, the acid could be a bit more glowy. That would be cool. Right. We've got some sort of button on the floor. Are those weight buttons? These weight triggered buttons? So we need something on both of those to open that door. Classic. Kevin, have you left your paperwork on the floor with the corpse again? Oh no, I can't walk past this paperwork. Yeah. Can I just destroy the paperwork in the door? Okay, so this is interesting. So I see. So at the moment I can't push out of this room because as soon as I'm out of the room I'm blocked. So the absolute only way to get out of this room with the paperwork is for the other paperwork to be the thing that is activating the top button. Oh my goodness. Why are you doing this to my brain? Oh. I didn't get the lid on the acid. Where is the lid for the acid? Is that the problem? Is that there's something I haven't done here? Oh, it's because I haven't picked up my bucket. Ugh, my trusty bucket. See you later, so good to see you. Right, I think this is the last game of the stream. I'm gonna try and do all the levels though while we're here because I think this is a funny one to watch someone else get stuck on. Oh no! There's a guy. Sorry, I need to boot this back up again. So for some reason, this is the first time this has ever happened to me, but your game shuts down when I use one of my OBS macros. When I use Control Shift Alt and plus and minus to trigger my macros, and yeah, that one was shutting the game down whenever I did it. Yeah, see, I haven't really been looking at that that UI because it's got my my taskbar is a little bit in the way of it. But it is there. Hello, young man. What are you doing here? Did I just tie him up with something? What's the most common tips if you want to make a successful game? I don't know. Are the most common tips on anything the the most helpful ones. I don't know. People who are good at stuff and make good stuff generally get there by just doing the thing over and over again. It's not a very exciting tip. It's just more of an observation about the world. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about these things. There's no magic way to be successful at something besides just doing it over and over again. And I think, you know, when it comes to games, making lots of smaller games is usually the way versus making one large game that you get really precious about and over attached to. So I'm guessing I can't just walk across that yellow thing. It looks dangerous. Yeah, I can't do that. But I can put him across there? I'm not sure how that works or why it works. I'm a bit confuzzled by that. So it's very difficult to work out how to get up into this corner to be able to move that lid. Okay, so something being on there turns those electricity things on. And we just don't want those on. That's the general gist of it with this. We need to be able to get the bucket out because we've still got some blood to clean up. We can't just get rid of this battery out of this whole equation because I don't have any way of doing that. And this guy, I don't know what his deal is. But if I start the game like this and then push him off that side, then I can get over here and sort all this out. Yeah, I need to clear up that bottom piece of gore first, though, I think, because it's going to cause us problems otherwise. Dang! What is... This game really has ways of letting you snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You kind of think you've got it, and then you just screw yourself over in the last second. Well, when you put the guy that I tied up, when you put him on the electricity, he doesn't die. I'm not sure what the deal is there. It's only you that dies. Okay, so yeah, so one of the things I would say to the developer here, to Smitner, is that on the first level where you get the guy and the duct tape, you can't see the duct tape object. So in that last level, the duct tape was sort of behind the surface, and it sort of made it hard to work out what it was. And now I can immediately see what it is and know what the interaction is going to be. Poor guys. I get it. So okay, that's the way they work. Is you can't push them unless they're tied, right? They don't cooperate unless you tie them up, and then they become pushable objects. Oh gosh. This level is brutal. Am I going about it wrong? Should I just be pushing these dudes into the doors? Okay, so no, I think I can see something here. So I need to use the tapes the other way round from what I did. I need to use them on, yeah, that one to use on him and that one to use on him. And then I've at least got them both taped. But I have this funny feeling that the solution to the level might be to might be that I have to squish them. I don't think that's true though, because I don't have my mop and bucket, so I can't dispose of them through squishing, as funny as that may be. Right, so I need to move him left up to be able to get him out, but at the moment the battery is right in the way of doing that, so I think I might have to just can I just take the battery with me? Will anyone be bothered if I do that? But then there's no room for this guy and I can't get round him to push him. I love how Sin just went, I wonder if they can be crushed by the doors, and then I just immediately did it. Great minds think alike. Okay. So I need to get them all to that bit where they can go past the desk. Or can't work out if there's like supposed to be some thing I'm doing where I'm supposed to be like cooking these guys somehow. That's fine, isn't it? I can go home. Yeah, of course. Whee! Oh my goodness, that was a that was a brain tickler. Is this an empty sector? I just drive around it. Yeah, someone earlier said that the map is a little bit dark, and I do tend to agree. Just because it kind of makes it a little bit hard to see where you're driving. Just maybe doing something to brighten up the path compared to the rest of it, or doing something to make it feel like a slightly different colour so it just reads easier. But yeah, it's great. That is Hazard Pay, and I think it's a genre of game that I would often not willingly choose to play because they make me feel dumb and they break my brain. But I thought that game is great, and it's such a good example of like the things you can do if you take a very abstract type of puzzle game and put a theme on it that people wouldn't normally put on it, right? You can, make a scary match 3 game or whatever it is. It works really well, and it works well here specifically because the puzzle is happening in an environment, and changing what those things are in the environment leads to all of this kind of meaning that makes the thing dark and funny in a way that another game wouldn't. Yeah. That is the last one on my list for tonight. This has basically been our kind of community stream for people who are in the Indie Game Clinic Discord. So the Discord is made up of people whose games I have reviewed before because they've emailed them to me, and then people who support via Patreon and stuff like that. So it's a relatively small community at the moment, and that means I'm able to currently offer stuff like this. So everyone who is in the chat who is in our Discord, look out for the sign up for this next month. I will try and do one at the end of each month where we just prioritize games for members, and the rest of you, if you're not a member of the Discord, that's fine as well. But I'm in a situation now where the amount of games I'm receiving and being sent is just too high for me to deal with. So what I'm going to be doing in the next week or so is setting up a new Google form, and instead of people emailing me their games, they're going to go via that way. And what that will help me with is knowing what stage people's games are at, because when I set up this channel, the idea was I would help people with games that they haven't finished yet, and I get sent so many games where it's like, here's a $10 game that is already released, here's a Steam key, and it's like, I appreciate that, but I need a quick way to work out which people are kind of sending me games that are like appropriate for the channel. So I'm going to have a new way of people submitting games soon. But people who are in the Discord, we're going to do this kind of priority feature where we have a spreadsheet and you can kind of send stuff, and I'll do one of these at the end of the month because it seems kind of useful and helpful. I hope everyone who kind of visited and like was having their games shown got some useful feedback. I haven't been able to keep up with the chat all the way through, but I will brave Facebook Marketplace in the next week and get myself a second screen so that I can kind of monitor the chat properly, because I haven't been able to do that this time. So yeah, if anyone needs a reminder of what those games were, that was Hazard Pay. Go and wishlist it if that looks of interest to you. I think it's such a good Like, it's such a good dystopian game. Like, I love dystopian sci-fi, and if there's one way to make me play a genre of game I wouldn't normally play, making it a sort of retro-futuristic dystopian sci-fi is definitely one way of doing that. It just brings out my inner goth to have that kind of thing. Before that, we had Milo's game, which is called Kane something. And yeah, Tanko on itch was the previous game, sort of Tank-O, which was a really neat little game. And then Gunsmith's Defense as well. We had someone in the Discord is currently working on, which is a fun little thing. Yeah, I've got my phone open for the chat at the moment, but it is an iPhone, which means it has about 30 minutes of battery when it's doing anything. It's just useless. So it would be good to have a second screen for OBS though as well, because I can't always see what you can see, and sometimes I just have the wrong macro, the wrong scene set on OBS, and I'm just like talking about a game and no one can see it or whatever, which is funny. Trial Studio said, once my game is less shit, I'll see you all in Patreon. Yeah, I mean, you can always email it over, but I would say keep an eye on the channel in the next week or so, and I will set up a new form for people submitting their games, and you can be one of the first people that gets in on that, and you'll probably get your game seen quicker that way as well. And yeah, thank you all for joining. I guess one thing to touch on before I leave is basically I finished at my day job a week or so ago, which means I should have more time now to focus on doing this stuff. But yeah, I'm doing bits of freelance work and stuff as well. But one of the things I want to do in the next couple of months is start to get ready to run game jams. And because, you know, I've got a background in doing design education and slightly different stuff from a lot of YouTubers' backgrounds, what I really want to do is create some game jams that help people to learn skills that are often sort of lacking in the indie development community. So game jams that are focused on, you know, not just a random theme, not just make whatever you want, but some kind of situation where you have to learn a skill that people generally struggle with. So two of the ones I've thought of in that area is a game jam where you have to collaborate, so a game jam that you can't do solo, and that will obviously have limited entrance because a lot of people don't want to make a game with someone else. But I really think I kind of want to do something to push back against this, oh, here's how to make a game alone this year stuff that a lot of people are pushing at the moment, because I know it's, you know, a lot of us are introverts, a lot of us don't want to learn that skill, but it is a skill and it is worth learning. And I, you know, fully empathize with people who have worked in teams before and it hasn't gone well and it's put them off. But I would like to create something that encourages people to try and do that. UI game jam, that's a brilliant idea, Fred. Yeah, like a game that is purely UI. I think that would be an interesting sort of restriction to put on people. The other one I was thinking of is a jam where you just pitch a game, right? So you don't actually make a game. And one of the reasons I was thinking of this was everyone says marketing is hard. Let's practice that skill, right? So it could be if you're making a game already, if we do the pitch jam, your entry is just you marketing the game you're actually making, right? And that's your entry. You make a 30-second advert for the game you're working on. And for other people, it might just be pitch an idea for a game that you haven't made and like convince us it's a cool idea. I think that could be a really cool jam. It's not really a game jam because you're not making a game, but it is a sort of jam to learn the type of skills that you need to, you know, not necessarily do game design, but do sort of creative direction and marketing for games in order to, like, you know, if you do get to the point where you're releasing games, to be able to speak about them, market them, make people excited about them, which is what marketing is, you know. Oleg said, would a game made in a week inspired by looking at you working in Game Maker be fine to send you? Yeah, potentially. Like I said, my email is getting really full of games to look at the moment, so keep an eye on the community announcements on this channel, because I am going to put a new form up for people to submit games through there. It will have a couple of questions for people to answer about their game, because that's going to help me like a lot in terms of identifying what to play each week and what to prioritize. I still have games in my email that came in like September, August, October last year, and I want to be able to play everything that everyone sends, but it's very different like doing a stream like this and playing 4 games versus like making a YouTube video where I have to have a thumbnail and a title that basically tell people why they should watch this, like what they're going to learn and so on. So what I really need to create is a database of all the games that people want me to play, so I can very easily go through it and go, oh, we've got 4 Metroidvanias, why don't I play them all, and try and identify if there's any like secret source to this genre and which ones are kind of working well and which ones aren't. You know, I have to sort of keep experimenting with formats and working out what people will click on in the first place, because it's just the nature of YouTube. So yeah, I mean, anyone can send me any game, but I would say if you're thinking about sending me the game in the next week or so, sort of hold your horses a little bit, because I'm going to create a new system to do that. So instead of just emailing it to me, there'll be a form, and that will make it easier for you to kind of convey to me what's interesting about your game or what you want help with and all of that kind of stuff. And it will just make it easier or make it less easy for your game to get lost in my inbox, because at the moment my inbox is horrific. I've been putting things in folders to let me know if I've played the game, if it's been on a stream, if I haven't played the game, and so on. But it's not good enough. I need something more robust. So next couple of days, the Google form will go up. I'll announce it everywhere that I post about Indie Game Clinic online. You know, I'll post it on the YouTube community feed type thing. Maybe do a quick video to explain as well, and post it on Blue Sky and stuff. And then from that point, when people submit their games, they won't come to my email, and if people email me their games after that point, I'll say I'll ignore it, because there'll be a new system. So yeah, if you're waiting to send me something, you want me to look at something you've made, just hold off a couple of days before you send me any new stuff, because there's going to be a new system, and following that will be more helpful to you and to me, for us to be able to work together in that way. A game jam about being a game dev making a game about a game jam. I'm going to tell you folks in the live chat my troll game that I want to make. I want to make a game out of all of the comments responding to my dream game videos, and make some kind of weird text adventure out of them, and then and then put it on the internet and be like, this is my dream game. And it's just like everyone else on YouTube talking about dream games turned into a text adventure. Frederick asked, basically, if I've played a game before on a stream, will I play it again? Yeah, I mean, in theory. So, again, today's stream is been kind of to prioritize the Discord members, so that people who are helping support this channel by subscribing to the Discord, like, get a bonus thing out of it. So, if Smith puts Hazard Pay in this again next month, then it wouldn't be like top of my list, because I've already played it. But if there are only 4 games next month and one of them is this, I'll play it again, right? General submissions to the channel, yeah, I'm not going to revisit them over and over again, because that's not very exciting for viewers, I guess. But yeah, send me your ideas for games I can make out of people talking about dream games. And maybe it's like a shooter where you shoot comments, or a JRPG town where you go around and talk to everyone and they all have inexplicably long opinions about what dream game means. in a castle in the clouds. Right, I'm gonna log off now. I need some water and some sleep. Thank you all so much for joining. It's been really fun, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. out of the games today, and it's really nice as always to see you all kind of discussing ideas to make these games better in the chat. It's so cool to be able to do this sort of thing where, you know, we're discussing a game that someone wants feedback on. You know, we're not just playing a released game and slagging it off. You know, the person is here saying, hey guys, what should I do to my game to make it better? And you're all able to help and be part of that. So I really appreciate you all for dropping in and doing that. And I will see you on the next one, which, you know, I want to get to a point where I'm streaming a couple of times a week, but again, the work of everything else keeps catching up with me. So just keep an eye on the channel, and I will try and warn people as far in advance as I can when I do a stream, but they're hard to fit in at the moment.